Welcome back, everybody, to another New Comic Book Day Wednesday. This is a special episode 50 New Comic Book Day. We've been doing this for 50 weeks straight, dude. Pretty cool to hit that big milestone. Let's get into the comic book haul, and then I'll tell you what the rest of the video, the other topics, are going to include. But we got my pick of the week, Absolute Flash issue number 8. Might be a hot take this week, but I've been really liking where the story's going. Last two issues, I've really been ramping it up. The stakes have been set. And this one, I guess we get a little behind the scenes backstory on Barry Allen, who we know possibly died in the first arc or whatever. So be interested to see what's going on with that. But I've been loving what Jeff Lemire's doing lately. We also have the new guys, issue number 11, Rom B continuing the series. I think we got 2 issues left, this one and issue number 12. And it looks like, yeah, dude, super excited about this. Trying to look at the cover. Everybody's trying to get this kid. That's what the story has been about since the start. And I've been loving it, dude. The new guys, issue number 11. We have G.I. Joe number 12. Back on the G.I. Joe train. I'm loving it. My favorite part of the Energon universe with Josh Williamson and Marco Federa on the art. So not Tom Riley, I believe, was doing the art for a little bit. But, you know, hopefully we get Tom Riley back on. But that's all right. G.I. Joe issue number 12. We got Krypto, the last star of Krypton, issue number 5. I think this concludes this little series about Krypto from Ryan North and Mike Norton on the art. And hopefully Krypto finds his home, finds his owner, dude. Lovely story here, even though it's been sad and heartbreaking all the way throughout. We also got Nightwing number 131. I'm loving what Dan Watters is doing on the Nightwing title. We have Dexter Soys on the art for this one. Loving Dexter Soys' look for Nightwing. It's so kinetic. It's got a lot of movement. And I like kind of the darker look compared to the Bruno Redondo stuff. I'm liking this Nightwing run. Definitely jump on. Superman number 11. Superman Unlimited, issue number 6. I don't know why I said Superman 11. Superman Unlimited, issue number 6. This series, for me, it's been all right. It's not my favorite Superman title by any means. I was thinking about maybe dropping it after this one, because I think this concludes arc number 1. Catching it on DC Universe Infinite, but I don't know if it's a series I need to pull in singles. You know, same thing with this Wonder Woman series. I've been saying it for a long time. I'm wicked behind. Gotta catch up. This past weekend, I was more focused on catching up with other series from DC, like getting ready for DCKO and stuff like that. So gotta back up and reread, not reread, but catch up on some Wonder Woman. I think I'm like 6 issues behind. And then we'll determine if it's finally time to drop the series. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Speaking of Dan Watters from earlier, we got Shredder, issue number 2. I liked issue number 1. It wasn't my favorite, but we're gonna keep it going for a little bit. I wanna see what Dan Watters can do in the kind of TMNT sort of playground they got going on. And then, last but not least, we got the Lucky Devils number 5. I think this series was delayed for a really long time. I'm not even sure. I forgot I had it on my pull list. It was a surprise in my pull box for sure, because I forgot all about it. But Charles Soule writing with Ryan Brown on the art. Something happened to Ryan Brown, so he took a little bit of break from comic book creating, but he's back with Lucky Devils issue number 5. I think I gotta read the last one, I forget, but fun series. Not as good as 8 Billion Genies, but that's all right. That's the New Comic Book Day for October 15th. Like I was saying, it's the special episode 50, and to celebrate, dude, we got the Chicago Dog. Longtime viewers will know, Chicago Dog is a classic. Every single Wednesday, I haven't been going lately, but I used to go every single Wednesday. It used to be my tradition, dude, for New Comic Book Day. Then you go get the hot dog. But anyways, dude, that's been the comic book haul. And the rest of the topics we have, some Halloween recommendations, 1 sitting Halloween comic book horror reads that you can just finish in one night. And then we also do a sort of vlog and comic book haul for me and my wife. We went to Portland, Maine, did some comic book shopping and stuff like that. So the vlog and then the haul at the very end of this video. But that's it. New Comic Book Day number 50 for October 15th. Stay tuned and use the chapters down below to see my horror comic book recommendations, my 1 sitting horror recommendations, and then the vlog with my wife with the haul at the end. Thank you guys for watching, and read more comics. If you're looking for some horror comic book recommendations to get you ready for the Halloween spooky time, then this video is the video for you. I got 6 picks here, and they're all pretty short. You should be able to complete them all in like 1 sitting, man. 1 spooky Halloween sitting. But let's start off with what I think is the scariest out of the bunch. We got Witches, man. So Witches is a story from Scott Snyder with artwork from Jock. Got Hollingsworth on the coloring, and it's all about this town in New Hampshire, this small old-timey town. It's kind of been controlled and haunted by these witches, as we see here, kidnapping the kids, or maybe the people in the town are sacrificing the kids to the witches to keep the witches kind of at bay. Maybe the witches are kind of controlling the town. There's kind of a conspiracy that goes on. This is a pretty gruesome death scene as we see what the witches are capable of. But the story follows this dude as he sort of goes down the rabbit hole of this kind of witches kind of conspiracy that's been going on in this town. And this is a series that'll make you scared to go out in the woods at night, dude. So I live in Maine, up here in New England, sort of where this story takes place. And after reading this, walking alone in the woods is a little bit different, not gonna lie, man. So witches, definitely check it out. Love that scritchy, scratchy sort of art style from Jock. And Scott Snyder has some real horror comic book chops, man. So definitely check out Witches. I think it's pretty good and it should get you through, should be able to read it pretty quickly. Next up, let's talk about The Me You Love in the Dark from Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. Don't worry about the fact that I got this signed by Jorge Corona at C2E2. It's no big deal, man. So this story is all about the main girl. She is an artist and she's kind of suffering from sort of like writer's block, but artist block, right? She doesn't know what to paint, what to create. She decides to move in temporarily to this house, this old kind of musty like mansion. And maybe that'll get her kickstarted, get her some inspiration, maybe chill out and focus on the art. And we find out that this mansion, this kind of house is haunted by this entity, this demon darkness entity as we see here. And the girl kind of falls in love with this dark sort of spirit. She's kind of infatuated with his power and that kind of thing. Maybe it's a story about, abusive relationships too, though. It's kind of like a metaphor for that, as we see this dark entity is pulling this girl and kind of in ways that she doesn't really want to get pulled. But she's kind of stuck there in this house. Can she leave? Can she not? Is it all in her head? That kind of thing. So I think it's pretty sick. Definitely check out The Me You Love in the Dark as we see the design of this dark entity with all the eyeballs. Really cool creature design from Scotty Young and Jorge Corona in this series. Definitely check it out. Me You Love in the Dark is a really good read. Nice and short too. You should be able to read it very quickly. Next up, Stray Dogs. This is the story about all these dogs who have been kidnapped by this serial killer. The serial killer goes after like pet owners, right? So he kidnaps all the dogs after he kills the owners. He brings them back to his house, and it's got this really cute sort of art style, sort of like a Disney, like 101 Dalmatians kind of style. But we see that all the dogs are, dealing with the serial killer. Hey, he killed our owners. Can we get out of this situation? It's kind of like this merging of two different genres you don't see merged quite often, right? We got the anthropomorphic, cartoony animals on one side, but then they're in a very horrific, unsettling serial killer sort of situation on the other side. Very kind of interesting clash of two genres. And definitely recommend reading Stray Dogs. There's also a series that follows this, but I thought Stray Dogs was, quite a good read. Definitely check it out. Very unique. Don't see things quite like it. This mix of horror and kind of cartoony, childish art style. But yeah, definitely check out Stray Dogs. I just want to point out too, the first three we talked about, all from Image Comics, man. Image Comics makes some really good stuff. Next up, we got three more stories to talk about. Another kind of anthropomorphic story, as we see here, the Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This is from creator Patrick Horvath. He's writing, he's drawing, and he's coloring too. Very beautiful stuff. It takes place in Woodbrook, and we find out that this girl who runs the hardware store named Samantha, she's a bear. And as I'm flipping through, you guys are seeing all the other characters are all animals, so it's in kind of this animal world. Woodbrook is like a small little town where our main character Samantha, she's the hardware store owner, helping people out. But she's got a dark secret because she goes out into the city in her off time and she, is kidnapping people. She's cutting them up. She's a serial killer, guys. So it's like this crazy, crazy story, this crazy journey. Sort of like Dexter, if you're into that show. As we see our main character here, she keeps it all cool and collected when she's home. But when she gets to the big city and she does all her killing, she can be pretty gruesome. Definitely recommend checking this series out. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees is one of those series that is winning all the awards, right? It just won the Harvey. So Patrick Horvath doing a little celebration tour there. Definitely recommend checking it out. That mix of like Dexter and Arthur is something that you never expect to see in a comic. Very beautiful storybook, woodland creatures, but you got that, character with a dark past, dark history, and dark sort of hobby, man. So definitely recommend Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. It's pretty good, man, with the anthropomorphic, with the killers. Very cool story there. And I like this little hardcover I got too. This is from IDW, so good one from IDW. Two more to talk about, like Frankenstein. This is part of the Universal Monsters, and this is a nice hardcover. They've been releasing them nice hardcovers. Last week we talked about James Tynion IV and how he did the Dracula series, and he's doing Invisible Man right now. It's currently coming out. I thought Frankenstein has been the best out of the Universal Monsters bunch though. So good from writer and artist Michael Walsh. He's doing double duties here. Only thing he's not doing is like the lettering and the coloring, because the coloring is from Tony Marie Griffin. But yeah, this is it starts off, it's the classic Frankenstein story, you know, but it really focuses on this kid who turns out his dad has passed away, and the evil doctor who's putting together Frankenstein, he's using the boy's like part of his dad to create Frankenstein, like his hands, you know what I mean? So it follows like this kid as he's sort of, trying to figure out what's going on with his dad and why this evil monster has his dad's kind of body parts. But then it's like the classic story of Frankenstein. But yeah, just really, really good read. As we see this kid, he's confronting the evil monster. That's not his dad's hands that he knows and loves, right? So it's a really, really compelling story. And for my money, it's the best out of the Universal Monsters bunch, which is saying a lot because Dracula was really good. I thought Invisible Man's really good so far too. But yeah, Frankenstein, some really, really good stuff. So definitely check that out. Last but not least, Somna. This is a distillery series, and it's my favorite distillery series that they've done. This is from Becky Cloonan and Tula Lotay. They go back and forth, passing off the art duties, because the story is all about, it's got a lot of nudie Judy, okay? This is like an adult sort of read. This is Tula Lotay's artwork here, as we see this girl who's making love to a demon kind of guy. Gets a little nudie Judy, but then it gets into Becky Cloonan's art style. So the story here is all about this girl. She's living in whatever, like the Pilgrim times, or like the old timey like New England or whatever, where they burn people at the stake. If you're a little too a certain way, they'll burn you. They call you a witch and that sort of thing. And she's sort of been haunted by this evil demon in her dreams, kind of making her more lustful, making her more words I can't say here, right? So she's kind of struggling with this, what's real, what's not. She kind of gets lost in the dream world, this dream state. And it's really cool seeing both Tula Lotay and Becky Cloonan pass off the art duties back and forth. So when she's awake, it looks like this, but in that dreamy time, it gets all Tula Lotay, flowy, sort of ethereal. And I thought it was a really good story, man, as we see this girl who's just struggling with, am I getting possessed? Like, what's real, what's not? Her husband is the sheriff dude who's looking for witches, right? So you don't want to get, don't want your husband to know that you're seeing like demons and stuff. Excellent read, man. Somna, really good. It says it's a bedtime story. You could read this before bed, So yeah, definitely check out Somna. Really good from Distillery. Definitely check out Frankenstein, my favorite Universal Monsters. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, one of my favorite recent comic book series, just point blank period. Then we got Me, You Love in the Dark, Jorge Corona, Scotty Young classic. We've got Witches, probably my favorite horror series of all time. Really good stuff there. And then finally, last but not least, Stray Dogs. A little bit of a, kind of a mix of two different genres. But that's what we got. Some comic book horror recommendations to get you in the spooky mood. And all of these you should be able to read in one sitting, man. So thank you guys for watching, and read more comics. This past weekend, my wife and I took some time and went down to Portland, Maine to do a little bit of a comic book shopping. Our first stop is Coast City Comics. This shop is so cool. If you guys haven't seen it before on my channel, this is the entrance where all the new single issue comic books, the new trades can be found right near the front. You can find a lot of cool things like this Absolute Catwoman variant covers. They also have a lot of action figures right near the front as well. A lot of selection of Marvel Legends here. But then if you go over to the single issue, the back issue kind of section, they have a ton of monster figures. They have a ton of DC McFarlane figures as well. That's always a joy to look through. And then right across from the action figures, a ton of trade paperbacks. They also have newer single issues. So these are like new comic book days from a couple weeks ago. As you guys see my wife looking over there. We went to the Crispy Guy for lunch, dude. He got a nice chicken sandwich, some fries as well as some dumplings. We saw some ducks near the water next to this giant cruise ship that parked there. Our next stop was Casablanca Comics. Wasn't able to get a ton of footage in here. This place was packed. Of course, always the comic book haul is at the end of the video. Just some footage of the other shops we had a chance to look through. A lot of places selling old VHS. Thought about buying this old X-Men VHS, but thought against it. As you guys see my wife looking here through some prints and art and that sort of thing. Giant skeletons on top of the roof. That's how you know it's spooky season. Our next stop was Bull Moose. So not in the city of Portland, but a little bit outside of it. Over here in the Superman, superhero kind of Blu-ray section. A lot of cool things. Trying to build up my superhero movie collection. Saw this like Justice League The New Frontier. I actually have not seen a lot of these animated movies, so I was thinking about starting up a larger collection of them. Seeing some cool things like this old Catwoman, the Steelbook, a lot of different things like this one I have seen before, the Batman Under the Red Hood. That one's pretty good. Nice shiny cover there. And yeah, just like looking through all of these animated series. Oh, nice. Batman, The Mask of the Phantasm. Might have to pick that up. They also have at Bull Moose a large selection of used graphic novels. Ton of fun looking through here. Can always find some cool things. Some nice hardcovers like The Heroes in Crisis. Seeing some, some old Nightwing stuff as well. And this giant Monstrous compendium. I gotta read Monstrous. Have not checked it out yet. Heard good things. This was new, I think. The Batman Long Halloween finally got a print. Let's do the haul. As you guys saw, that was the vlog portion of the video, but let's get into the haul, man, because as you guys can see, I got a lot of cool things to show you. So starting off, let's do a DCKO blind bag, okay? So, picking these up. Wasn't sure if I'd do another blind bag, but they got me. They got me at the shop. I saw they had a couple extra. So yeah, let's see what we got in the blind bag. I know that there's a ton of foil variants. Everybody wants that 1 in 1,000 Mark Spears Darkseid variant. But let's see what we've got. Let's do the reveal. Ooh! Oh, dude, that's sick. We got the Daniel Warren Johnson. This is great because as you guys will see in a second, I have another, set of variants. And when I went to the shop, I was looking for the Daniel Warren Johnson variant. And we got the foil of it, dude. So sick. Superman doing a wrestle move on Darkseid. That's badass, dude. Really excited about that. Moving right along, though. That's so cool. But these other variants are just as cool. Got the Absolute Catwoman. Excited about the series starting up next year. A little mini series featuring this version of Selena Kyle. But had to pick up these variants for Absolute Batman number 13. You guys know I can't go comic book action figure shopping without bringing home an action figure, man. So we got the Brainiac McFarlane multiverse. This is the Injustice 2 Brainiac, but McFarlane doesn't have a lot of good Brainiacs, man. This might be the best one, and it's kind of cool because he's got these like arms you can plug in his back, and they kind of stick out. You kind of pose them a little bit. So glad I got this Brainiac. That'll look really cool on the DC villain shelf over here with all his other buddies. So yeah, we'll get the Brainiac up there unboxed sooner rather than later. We also picked up that Batman The Mask of the Phantasm. Classic, right? Wanted it on Blu-ray. Saw it for a pretty decent price. Maybe a little bit expensive for something like used and pre-owned, but excited to have it, man. Next up, we've got the newest Junji Ito release, I believe. I got it for a little bit of a discount. We got Moan, a bunch of short stories from the legend Junji Ito. Thought I'd pick it up. Trying to read more manga, as we're heading into 2026. And probably do a repeat of reading manga in 2026. We didn't read nearly enough manga as I meant to this year. But yeah, Moan, the newest Junji Ito. We also have Understand. This is where it gets to the cool stuff, man. So we got the Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud. This is a first print, though, I'm pretty sure. So if you guys haven't read this, it will blow your mind. It literally makes you look at the comic book medium very differently and kind of shows you what else is possible. And really great explanations from Scott McCloud on comics and understanding them, man. So definitely check out Understanding Comics. I just think this is cool because this is like a first printing, man. So even though I have one already, one of the newer printings, cool to have this first print. Very nice. This one's interesting, man. I don't read a ton of Golden Age. but I picked this up when I saw it. Nice hardcover from DC with the old logo, so it's pretty old. The greatest Golden Age stories ever told. And I was flipping through, right? Because like I was saying, I'm not a big Golden Age guy. Sometimes reading Golden Age is like pulling teeth. But check this out. It's got a lot of front matter, got a lot of articles and stuff like that. But check this out, the table of contents, to see what is included, right? We got some Plastic Man, some Hawkman, some old Batman, some old Superboy. We got Wildcat, Kid Eternity. We got old Green Lantern. We got old Sandman, old Flash, Starman, Green Arrow. We got Slam Bradley, who the main character in the series Gotham City Year One, written by Tom King. Art from Phil Hester, that was really good. So I like Slam Bradley, he's a cool character. And Johnny Quick, some more Superman, Robot Man, Wonder Woman, and yeah, some JSA as well, dude. So I thought this was a cool collection. I don't know if I'm gonna read it anytime soon, but I thought it was cool to have. I got this for a nice discounted price over this was $10, man. So I thought that was cool, man. Nice little hardcover. Moving right along, we got Arkham Asylum, a serious house on serious Earth. I've not read the series yet, man. Been waiting to pick it up. I think I was thinking about getting like a trade a long time ago, but I found this, dude, a nice first printing hardcover of Arkham Asylum, written by Grant Morrison with artwork from Dave McKean. Very excited about this, man. If I had picked this up before October, I would be reading it sometime in October because I feel like it's a good Halloween read. But yeah, man, excited to have this. First printing, I'm pretty sure, of the hardcover, old DC logo before they brought it back. That's pretty cool. We also got Bizarro Comics, same kind of thing. So this is a nice hardcover. It's not the deluxe edition, right? I was thinking about getting the deluxe edition, but I'm pretty sure this includes all the material in that deluxe edition. Nice hardcover. First printing, I'm pretty sure, again. So yeah, dude, this is pretty cool. Bizarro Comics, I'm excited to get into this. A lot of different creators that I know and love attached to this. A lot of fun stories. And yeah, excited to have this Bizarro Comics hardcover. Pretty cool, dude. Obviously the cover by Matt Groening. And then two more trades and then we'll close it out. We got the Black Monday Murder. This Black Monday Murders volume number 2. So I saw this, right? Hickman, you guys see that? Trying to get more of Hickman's kind of earlier, more of his indie work. So excited to have this volume 2 of the Black Monday Murders. Have volume number 1. Also have the Nightly News. So it's coming up here soon. We'll be reading a lot of Jonathan Hickman, some of his earlier stuff, especially on his indie side. So I got this, pretty cool. And then Batman by Brian K. Vaughan. So Brian K. Vaughan is a creator that I'm trying to read more of his stories. I pretty much only read Saga. I have Spectators coming up soon. I'll probably read that next month, actually. But wanted to pick this up. Brian K. Vaughan, a bunch of his Batman stories, man, all collected in one. I know that they released like a DC Universe by Brian K. Vaughan, but you know, we got this instead. You know, a little used pre-owned Batman by Brian K. Vaughan. Pretty excited, but that's what we got. All the stuff that I picked up walking around Portland, Maine with my wife, of course. Always have a good time doing these kind of videos, man. So we got a nice stack of comic books, hardcovers and stuff like that. Some trades. We got the Blu-ray Mask of the Phantasm. And then we got two, Absolute Catwoman variants there. Nice Jenny Frison on that one. And then we got the DCKO blind foil. Are you joking, dude? With the Daniel Warren Johnson. Excited about that. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, read more comics.